Hey guys, how's it going? You know, it's the beginning of a new year, and this is when everybody posts their reptile room tours, so that's what I'm going to do today. And we're going to do it in a different fashion. I don't think you can see right now, but I have a nice table laid out, and I'm going to bring them all out here and show them off instead of going to their enclosures. I feel like this is going to be a lot better in terms of focusing on their details, showing them off and such like that. So I'm really excited. Let's get to it. And also remember, we have a big stream Saturday, 2 p.m. We're going to be doing a lot of prizes, games, guests. It's going to be really great, and it's all for charity. Plus, if you guys donate enough, I'll be completely bald. So definitely check that out. Let's hop right into this reptile room tour. So we're going to probably start with the guys out here. I have one enclosure behind me, and there's another one over there. 2 Ackie monitors. I have about, I think, 5 adult Ackies right now, so we might have a little bit of a train of Ackies being showed off, so that might be good or bad for you, but we're going to show off all of them. My Tegu will come out here. I'm even going to handle Destin for the first time today. And the Hendricks I have, the Hendrick Ackies, I bought these specifically for them because I know the one right behind me, the female, she's quite nippy because she's always in food mode. So, you know, maybe some entertainment today with that, but they're all going to be coming out. Tortellini, Max my Mirror Dragon. We got a lot of fun reptiles. So let's get started. So this is LG, my male top ender Ackie, Yellow Ackie. He is a specific locality, I believe, of Ackie Monitors. And he is going pretty crazy lately in his new animal plastics enclosure I got probably, I think it was a month and a half ago. It's not really that new anymore, but he's been loving it. He's been getting a lot of shedding done, which is great. He's actually going through a new shed again, so his colors are a little dull, but he has a really unique pattern. I'm really excited to maybe get a female top ender and do some breeding. A good way to notice top enders is they usually have a very strong, powerful line under the neck there. And actually, he just shed the top of his head, and you can see his third eye. Yes, reptiles, most of them have a third eye. Okay, so you can maybe see his third eye if he wants to stay still enough. Hopefully I'm good in frame. When he calms down for a moment, you could probably see it, but I'll point it out then. I got LG a little under a year ago from a guy who got a bunch of top enders as a group and wanted to sell off one of the males. And top enders, even males, are really not too accessible in the US. So I kind of jumped on this one. He was having a bunch of offers. And luckily for me, LG has always been pretty much a stud in terms of taming and interacting. I did not really have to do much with LG to get him to be friendly like this and crawl around on me and not be afraid of me. So LG is definitely a really cool lizard to have around here, and I'm really hoping to get a female top ender soon. Maybe you could see the third eye now. I don't know, Olivia, can you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, awesome. Let's move on to another reptile. Next, we're gonna hop to the enclosure right behind me. We have another Ackie monitor to show you, but this is a special line, a Hendrick red Ackie monitor female. Now, she is quite nippy, so I did get these gloves, one reason for her, but usually when she's in her hide, she's pretty docile, so I'm gonna go in freehand and hopefully don't come out with any scars. Here she is. I'm really surprised I can handle her like this. I mean, the previous owner, she's very recent here, so I'm definitely getting her adjusted to me. That's kind of why I was anticipating the gloves, and she's very food aggressive. But the previous owner did handle her quite a lot, so I know she can be handled. It's just now building a reputation with her. But look at this stunning female. She has a shed she probably has to go through. Her colors are a little dull, but she has that typical Hendrick look with the powerful yellows, especially for a red in the arms, on the top of the head, and then she has that unique pattern. She has that unique pattern on her back. Oh my God, girly, you are upset. All right, so let's wrap this up. I do want to say that the tail tip is missing a little bit. That is not something that happened here though. I don't know if you can see it. That was something that happened at her previous home. Just want to clarify that. I do, like I said, think she has a couple sheds she needs to get off, and that could have led to that problem. But let's put her back. She's trying to go at me a little bit. Oh, okay, don't get aggressive. So I thought the female was the most aggressive Hendrick I had, but this red Hendrick male that I'm about to show you guys is being far more aggressive today. I stuck this in without my hand on it, and he absolutely tore it apart almost. So Ackies in general probably won't do much damage, but a big male, red male like this, it would probably hurt quite a lot. So I have him in a box, and I might try to handle him a little bit. We'll see how he is. But this guy can definitely hop out of here, and I don't need this guy who's somewhat aggressive hopping around a little bit. I'm gonna hold on to the little bit Olivia just to keep him in there. He has amazing colorings though, even more amazing than the female. Now he's very dirty, he likes to burrow, so it's gonna be a little difficult to see the colors I saw when I first got him. Just gonna make him go back in there. But there is a video on that when I unboxed them, so I will put that in the top right if you want to see those colors. But he has those strong yellows, like I said, you see in these red Hendricks that aren't a typical red Ackie Monitor thing, specifically the tail. The head, he's got a nice line there, that's really cool. And then the arms. And then he's got that nice pattern on the back, scared the crap out of me. He's getting a little frustrated. And he's got strong reds in the back there. And he's got a very kind of black face, which is really cool. The female has one, but the male being so much bigger, it just shows off so much more. And his eye color is insane. It's like you're looking into the eye of, what is it, the eye of Sauron? What it was for Lord of the Rings, Olivia.
Yeah, Sauron.
Yeah, that one. It's just really cool. But he's being very aggressive today. I've held him a couple times with no problem. And, well, not aggressive, defensive, but you guys get what I mean. And just today, he knows I'm doing a video, and he wants to rub it in my face that he controls me. But he's even more newer than the female, so I do have to work with him quite a bit along with the female to get them used to me. I don't think there won't be a period where I can't handle them and it'd be fine. So I'm not too worried, but for now, we're still working on that. So let's put him away. Okay, so I brought Asus and Dell out. This is my only pairing I have right now. They live together permanently and get along pretty well. Sometimes during food time, it's not exactly that. I'm gonna put Dell down for a second though, just because it's kind of hard to hold two Ackies at once. So this is Asus, he's the male. You can definitely tell, not only by the bigger head and thicker neck, but he's a lot skinnier, and that's because I believe Dell is gravid again, which is not that bad timing-wise. I was not intending to breed this spring because I will be moving in May, I believe. But these eggs, if correct, she could also be cycling. If she is gravid, they will be laid much sooner than that and hatch probably within enough time before I move. So that's Asus, and then Dell right here. You can tell, look how chonky she is. She is very chonky. I definitely do believe this is gravid and not just cycling, especially because they've been breeding for a while now. Now, Asus and Dell were my first ever Ackie pair. I believe they're about 3 years old now, which is really cool. They are F3 EU line Ackies, both of them, so keeping the line pure, which is great, just like the Hendricks will do when they breed. So these guys, I love them. I work with them so much. I get along with them so much. Me and them have a great trust and bond between us, so it's really great. I'm really happy to have these guys. In terms of coloring, Dell has a lot more powerful yellows, especially in the neck. I really love that. She has more blanded browns. And then we have Asus over here, who's a lot darker. And actually, there's some white here from a fresh shed. You can see it kind of goes around the side here. I'm not exactly sure what that's from. Now, I have seen that in Asus before. Could have been possibly always during sheds, so maybe that could just be part of his shedding process, but very interesting. I've never seen this much whites, and it's definitely not a burn by how it feels, not hurting them when I touch it, nothing like that. And I check the temperatures very often, so not really sure what that is. Let me know if you have any clue or any inkling of what that could be, but a lot darker coloring. He even has some reds in them as a yellow, so really cool. They produce very cool babies. They've had 2 clutches together and hopefully a third on the way. Like I said, she looks very gravid. Lastly, here is the last and final Ackie resident we have here, besides a couple temporary ones that are looking for new homes. But this one is 14 months old. We are unsure of the gender, so we don't really have a name for him or her yet. That's why I just kind of refer to this one as Baby Ackie. Mostly, well, it's an adult Ackie now, 14 months, but mostly because kind of still looks like a baby, and that's because this one was very much the runt of his clutch or her clutch. didn't have the same amount of opportunities and growth as the other ones in my first clutch. I developed a new system now to kind of get around that and take care of the runts a little bit better, make sure they eat really well in the beginning, because that's why this guy's so small. He did not eat very well in the beginning. He did not have the opportunity to eat as much, thus becoming sort of the runt. So I am getting him up to size, or her up to size. This is actually a big improvement over where this one was a couple months ago. I feed this one pretty much every day. So eventually this guy or this girl should be caught up, but I don't know exactly when, and I'm really working hard on that. Now, the other cool part about this guy is, like I said, this was my first ever clutch. This was from Asus and Dell about a year ago, a little over a year ago, yeah. And you can see kind of how Asus and Dell's patterns, colors influence this one. You can see that it looks like he or she has been taking Asus's darker colors in the back a little bit more, but still has that strong yellow in the neck. And that's what I've been seeing a lot from their clutches thus far. Strong reds in the back, strong yellows in the neck, and strong yellows in the arms, almost like a Hendrick red Ackie, which is kind of weird to think about, but really cool. You can see their patterns are a little bit more white down the back, and they don't really have those blacks in the middle. Obviously, as this guy gets bigger, that might change, and like I said, as Ackies get bigger, their patterns and colors expand and change. So that's really interesting, but we get to see what a 14-month-year-old production of Asus and Dell kind of looks like, and it looks exactly like this. Next, we got Destin, my one and only gecko, my Crested Gecko. He was the second reptile I got. We saw him at Petco repeatedly, and it was not the best time, being, you know, I don't like supporting Petco, but we felt bad, and we got Destin, you know. I don't know what else to say about that, but it's been a delight having him since. Now, I don't usually handle him. Like I said, he's in the log right now. I can't get to him. I was going to handle him today. I said at the beginning of the video I was, but I really can't get him out of here, so this is the best I can do. I'm even wearing a glove in case I have to, even though their bites aren't too bad. I've gotten nipped a little bit from Destin before, and it's kind of a gummy feeling. So, but you know, whatever. I don't want him gnawing on my finger. Destin is going on 3 years old, I believe. He's right behind the Ackies, and he's got a couple of roaches that live with him that he never ate, which is really funny. I posted that to Instagram, Facebook, and stuff before. Make sure to follow me on there, by the way. But yeah, Destin's a delight. I don't really mind not interacting with him. I like seeing him running around when I'm in there at night in the reptile room, and I find it enjoyable just doing that. So it's not bothersome to me that I don't handle him too much, and if he's more comfortable with me staying hands off, then that's fine. This is the most I could get him out. That's Destin. And now he's gonna try to go back in. He's just not, he's not a fan of interaction. So we'll leave it at that. Giving you some licks, some goodbye kisses. Let's go put Destin back. On to Rue Paul. We have an Agamid from Queensland. This one is not at all popular in the United States. There's only a couple actively breeding this species. Now, I just did a sexing video on Rue Paul, and we believe she is female, which is great. I'd love to get a male at some point, and maybe this be my next breeding project. Make them a little bit more prominent in the United States. But overall, these guys don't like to be handled, so I don't want to handle her too much. They are just not, you know, they're not like my Ackies or something. They like to be very hands-off, and this one's very jumpy. I'm actually surprised this one's in my arms like this right now. So let's get a little bit closer of a look, and then we'll put her back. As I mentioned, these guys are from Queensland, specifically a rainforestry type area of Queensland. Now, they actually have a pretty low basking temperature, somewhere between high 60s to high 70s, which is really cool. And they have that basking temperature because they rely below the canopy in these rainforests, so they don't get that direct sunlight. They just kind of have that ambient sort of lighting. There's a lot of questions whether these guys need UVB or not because of stuff like that. But nonetheless, they are really cool reptiles. They get these really cool greens and blues and whites. An adult looks amazing. And she just recently shed off her baby skin, or her baby scales, which was really dark, kind of a nolly type looking brown, and now has these more colorful colors coming in. But look how much this would blend in if you were in the rainforest. You would never notice this guy, even if they were a full adult. So let's go put her back. She's getting a little stressed. I can see her eyes closing, and we'll move on to another reptile. Next, we got Max, who is right behind me on my shoulder. My first ever reptile. She's a little over 3 years old. we've been through a lot together. She didn't really like her greens in the beginning. I made a couple videos on getting her to like her greens, and now she eats them pretty well. Obviously, she still likes her roaches, her crickets, her superworms. Still a fan of that. But been quite the journey with her. We've gone through a couple things. Sometimes she takes a little bit longer to poop still, but we're finishing it up. I'm really happy with her progress. Everybody asks me what morph she is, and honestly, I have no clue. I've never been a morph person. I've always really loved the natural coloring of a lot of reptiles too, so I never really had an interest in looking at morphs anyway. You guys can guess below if you want to. I've heard suggestions. It was like, I think it was like sunburst orange or something like that. I totally just made that up, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but either way, she's a lovely reptile. She's funny, sassy. I think she's the favorite of my family, and that includes Olivia's family. They always like just walking by her and she's just looking at them, looks like she's giving a sassy look. So very funny, very funny. I love working with her, and it's always hilarious to walk by her eating her greens and then her just freeze and spit it out, not to get caught. So love Max, my one and only and day one reptile. Next we got Tortellini. I really should have something under him for him to grip a little bit more, but we're gonna do this really quick. Tortellini is my only tortoise. I really love tortoises, but I don't have the space for bigger tortoises. So Tortellini was really my only option, but not a bad thing. I love Tortellini. I just made a recent video on him. I love talking about Russian Tortoise care, because it's very, I don't know, there's a lot of misconceptions and misunderstanding, and how much space these guys require even at this tiny of a tortoise is still a lot. So there's a lot you need to know, especially about shell care and growth and maintenance. It's really interesting. I hope to get more tortoises eventually when I have the room, but for now I got lovely Tortellini who keeps walking off camera, and I'm happy to have him. He's such a funny eater especially, and it's so wholesome just to watch him bite into a nice juicy endive or something like that. He has quite the personality too, but that's Tortellini. I'm surprised he didn't poop on camera. Let's go put him back. Last but certainly not least, we have Frappuccino, my Argentine black and white Tegu, Chacoan locality. I got him from Laura Roberts about 2.5 years ago, August 2018. He is a delight. I can take him outside and he'll just chill. I could even probably walk away from him outside and he probably wouldn't go anywhere, although I don't like to test that theory all too much. He has never given me any scares with kind of going after me, being aggressive in any regards. He is a very calm little reptile, or not really a little reptile. He used to be, but not much anymore. He's about 4 feet long and about 13 pounds last time we weighed him, which from my research into Tegu weight versus their length is a good weight. I aim 10 to 15 pounds for about 4 feet. I'm really excited to see his jaws come in more. Sometimes I pronounce that weird, but it doesn't look like they've come in too much just yet, although there is some of that going on here. I do believe it can take them a little bit of time though, depending on the particular Tegu, to come fully in. Now this is the guy who had that jaw problem at one point in time. If you watched me in the past, that problem is pretty much solved, although he still has a little bit of an underbite, or an overbite. It's an underbite, right? Where his top jaw or whatever is sunken in a little bit. Now, he does have a little bit of a bone deficiency. I can't think of the term right now. It's not as strong in the tip of his nose. We're not exactly sure what led to that, but it did come in, it came with an infection, and then we just went through all the meds and stuff. So we're not sure which one came first. All we know now is that we're past that. He did lose a lot of his teeth, but he's happy, healthy, and doing everything a Tegu needs to do. He obviously did not brewmate this year because he would be down right now, but he did brewmate his first year. I like letting him choose, just like how I'm going to let him walk away right now, and I think he's wrapping up his own segment. So let's wrap up this video. Anyway guys, that wraps up this 2021 Reptile Room tour. There's a lot of differences from the last time I did a tour, and that was probably a monthly update, which I stopped doing pretty much. But I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I'm really excited for the summer because I'm going to be moving. There's going to be a lot of changes and a lot of new additions, so I look forward to that. Couple announcements before officially wrapping up. Shout out to the patrons. We got Kat and Rick, Darian J, Herb M, David T, Angela L, Smooth Cat, and Stephanie S. I really appreciate your support. I'm sorry if some of these are overlapping. I'm obviously not wearing my glasses because I'm using a ring light, and I probably put you guys all on top of each other, but I think that's okay. I think we're good. If you want to be a Patreon, you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. Check the top right for more information. Tier 3 gets you on my forehead. Also, guys, if you have a hognose snake, blue-tongued skink, a Tegu, you can get $5 off your first order of Reptile links by using code ProfessorHerp at checkout. There's also a direct link in the description below that will apply that code automatically. They're a great nutritional source of food that can be used as a main diet for so many different species. It's Frap's main diet, who you just saw today. Definitely recommend checking them out. Again, check the description below for more information. Okay, guys, check out the merch if you want. There's a Teespring link in the description below. We have 4 different designs. That's to the left of my head. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Looking forward to it, guys. Oh, and again, big live stream this Saturday, 2 p.m. Show up. It's for charity, donating to USR. It's going to be really fun. Hope to see you around.